Hotel Krat will never be the same, and hypocrisy is in the air. We're going to play this melody on the keys, and it's going to open up the next area of the game, an area known as the Relic of Trismegistus. A strange area indeed, an area with so much potential, an area that gets the mind reeling, and an area that's about 30 seconds long. When I was streaming this, someone in my stream mentioned that this zone used to be a lot bigger, but they trimmed it. Apparently, this was meant to be a whole thing, and if you look in that area there, you can look upwards in that canyon, and you can see walkways and pathways, and it has a ton of verticality, and it looks really, really cool. But none of that exists. Instead, it's just two rooms, and then a boss fight that a lot of people are going to have some serious issue with. And personally, I think that that's such a disappointment. I would go as far as to say that I think that this game mirrors Dark Souls, and this is the Demon Ruins moving into Izalith. That's how I feel about the end of this game. I think the start of this game is really, really good, and I think by the time you hit here, we're just nose-diving into Lord Vessel territory of undermining and underwhelming areas that just should have been better than they were. And this area, it just upsets me that it could have been so much more interesting, and then when we get to the Archy Abbey, I think that that's one of the worst levels ever made. Like, it's just the opposite of fun all the time. And we're going to have some interesting conversations on that sequence, because what a waste of potential. Longest level in the game, by far, biggest endurance, biggest slog, and just utterly, irredeemably dull. And I hate to say it, guys, because I do love the game, but it's just not what it needs to be. And speaking of things that are not what they need to be, this wall's going to be destroyed, and behind it there's going to be an enemy that I've avoided in this game. It is you could call him like a nutcracker soldier. He is one of the red coat, blue coat combination. I'm going to walk back to the stargazer now, bank that weapon, because I want to use the opening ploy to attack him. And I want to show you the best way to keep him at bay and kill him, because he does drop an amulet. But this monster, he has everything. Insane HP, insane range, insane damage, insane combos, insane recovery, insane defense. Like, there's nothing that this monster doesn't have. And it's not even fun to fight either. They've just cranked him to the point of complete misery. And at the start here, you can stun him with 3 hits. And then when he recovers, he's going to do his combo, which is a 2-hitter, and sometimes he puts a red move here. If you have him near the doorway, he can't teleport when he does that move, so it doesn't get all the range it shouldn't have. And if he does it twice, you can bait it again, and then you can finish him off. And because he can't move forward, he doesn't get that, like, 1.5-foot distance that he gets. And he looks really simple, doesn't he? Just smash him down, easy life. That enemy, not enjoyable. Not enjoyable at all. But we've got a big dog down here, and then we've got another one of those corrupted big fellas, but we're not going to fight those, because we have an appointment calling our name, and it's through this doorway here. This is probably the most demanding fight in the game, because you have to keep up with 3 people at once. And the 3 people you've met before, and you understand them, and depending on how much you paid attention in the first fight against the Black Rabbits, will dictate how well you understand what's going to happen in this fight. And what I'm doing here is a manipulation to get this brother stuck. If you can get Saber stuck, you can absolutely whomp him. Sadly, I don't do a very good job of it there, but I do enough of it to get rid of him quickly, and that's what we want. He is the most dangerous brother. He has the grapple hook, the puppet string, and he has the capacity to teleport when he does a stabbing combo, which covers about 900 meters. It's unbelievably stupid. It's one of the worst moves in the game, and now he's dead. It can't happen. Now we just have Spear and the sister. So Spear is easily one of the most fair enemies in the game, because everything he does has big recovery, and you can usually stab him in the bum. I'm not going to do too much of that, because I'm trying to put his life down slowly so I can keep it in line with hers. Because the gimmick here, guys, is when you kill a second of the Brotherhood and there's only one left, the big brother will resurrect from the timer on the coffin. And when that happens, you're going to be contending with an actual boss with an NPC, which is one of the worst combinations in the game. And I'm not a big fan of it. So we're going to do the Agni and Rudra strat here. We're going to lower both of these, the brother and the sister's HP, equally, and then we're going to kill them in rapid succession. And if you do that, it gets rid of all the problems. And the sister is very fast and very dangerous, and she stacks decay on you, but she's also one of the most controllable of the companions. And it's just a case of making sure you don't get off-screened, because each of these characters can off-screen you with a different tool. He throws bombs, she throws 2 slow knives, which she just did then, and then of course the brother that we killed, he just hooks you with the puppet string. The puppet string does damage, it pulls you into a bad situation. It's really, 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 really frustrating when it happens. And they can do it as much as they want to do it, but they are limited to how frequently they can do it. So you're not going to just get completely bombarded, which is really nice. It could have been way worse than it is, this fight. And it's not to say that it's not difficult, it's obviously difficult, but the damage that these do, the first 3, is so diminished that most people who get here will be able to trade quite comfortably with everybody without worrying. The only real damage you can't trade with is the brother when he turns up, because he does proper Big Daddy damage. Whereas these ones almost tickle most builds, but I think that's a really good decision, because if they did standard boss damage, this would probably be one of the hardest fights in the game. And as it stands, it is one of the hardest fights in the game for some people. But we're just waiting now for the timer to go down so that it swaps to the other sibling. And now that we've got him, we can do the backstab. We're going to try and do some Oki here. And now we've got them both at a small amount of life. And the cool thing about the youngest is that she goes down really quickly, so if I can kill this guy, I can run up to her and hit her twice and she'll probably die. And then what you can do, guys, is you can start buffing, you can start repairing your weapon with the grinder, you can start, like, you know, getting to your bombs and stuff however you want to fight the next dude. Because the next boss has the exact same moveset as the first time, he just has the addition of a shockwave on the ground. And as soon as you kill one of them, the other one needs to die. And then right here, we need to get ready. Get ready for hitting this dude. Because this guy has a lot of HP. And he is such an awkward opponent. This move here, he will always charge with a fury move afterwards. And the trick with that move is, the further away you are, the longer that move's range is. And it's the same as this. Stay close to this move until he starts running towards you and then move away from it. If you run away while he's doing the combo, he'll run the whole fucking room to hit you. And at that point, it gets really difficult to avoid. Unless you parry it, of course. If you're parrying, you'll be fine. And then everything else is just kind of the same. It's just you have to respect him a ton, because if you get hit now, you have to fight all 3 of those brothers and sisters again. Which is... I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about it, but I did it and that's what matters. This is the recording that took the longest, if you're wondering. And it's just because it's so easy to get hit. It's such an awkward fight. And I don't think it's that difficult. It's just quite difficult to do it without being tagged by anything. Whereas some of the fights coming up, those fights are really hard. Regardless of how you do them, you know. Now be careful of the overhead. The overhead has incredible range. And then here, after this, he does shockwave and then he runs at you. I'm going to use the cover to stop him running with a fury move to get him stuck. And then I'm just going to punish him. Another warning I need to give. Do not mess around when you stun him and you go for a riposte, because he has one of the meaner riposte timings. Because he gets to do all kinds of punishes on you before he gets tired, and then you get to stab him, and you only get a small window to do so. So if you do stun him and you go to break him, make sure you know what you're doing, because I have been hit by his riposte when he was stunned. And it always feels like dog shit when that happens, but it does happen. So be very, very careful. I could have killed him then, but I was playing safe. And then we get the spinning move, and then after this we should be able to kill him. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, the end of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. Good luck with that fight, it's annoying. Especially when you're new. But if you stick in there, you'll get it.